Okay, this is Tammy from Singles Travel International, and I am um, here to help our members get ready for the President's Club Wonders of Chile and Peru Singles Cruise. We're going to get to know each other a little bit and just go through the final information so that everybody is ready to take the journey when we leave from the States and Canada to South America. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen to, give me a second, guys. Do. Stop share. Let me share again. Okay, perfect. So I'm on the trip page, and I just want to bring your attention to some items that are on the trip page. Everybody did receive an email with what we call the final vacation details. Here on the trip page, you see on the left where it says your travel documents. That is where you click, and then it takes you to the document, which I'm going to go through tonight. But in the meantime, I just want to bring your attention to the trip chat that's here. There's not a lot of action here, but that's okay. Some groups are very active online and some are not. But I just wanted to let you know that this page does exist. If you guys want to chat after tonight and you've had a chance to meet each other, you can just jump on and post a message. Since I'm logged in, you can see my profile here and join the discussion. And I could say, hi, my name is Tammy. It's super easy. Nice to meet you all. So you're welcome to do that and post a comment. So that's how you stay in touch with everybody here who's in the group. Once you click on your travel documents, then you're going to land here. But everybody did get this. I'm sorry for the scroll. I'm going to go back up to the top. Everybody received this. Did everybody receive this in your email?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, super. Great. That's the point. You got it. You were able to review it. And now tonight I'll review it with you. And if anybody has any questions, that's the purpose of tonight's get together, other than to get to know each other a little bit. So we have a very short checklist because this trip is really all inclusive. We did a lot of preparation. It's a company that's outside the USA. So you know how some of the US companies like Royal Caribbean Celebrity, they're very modern. They have apps and you do everything online. These guys are a little bit more old fashioned. So we did all the preparation for you. You all filled out the fit and willing to travel document with us, and we just extracted all of your information and checked you in. So you don't have to do any check-in. And you all also responded to our requests for excursions. So even though there's an excursion in every single port included, there were some options, and you've made your requests. Some of them we're not sure we're confirming, and I'll talk about that later in the call. But everybody on the side of Swan Hellenic knows about us, knows about our requests, and they're really trying to work with the vendor so that we can get it all in, get as much in as possible. Um, but what do you need for this trip? Checklist is passport valid for 6 months. Guys, please check. I know that you've been sending me your passports. So for those of you who haven't yet, I would like you to do that so I have it, but please check your passports. Make sure you have at least 6 months of validity from the return date. I don't know why it's like that, right? You'd think if my passport's good until, November 1st, I should be able to come home on November 1st, but you do need that extra 6 month window. So double check your passports. Insurance is not mandatory, but if you purchased insurance, make sure you have that. I have records of everybody who purchased our travel guard policy, just in case if anything happens on the trip, I have to take you to a medical professional. I've got your information, you've got your information, and we can go ahead and make sure we get the proper records and documentation so that you can make your claim when you get home. Travel document from Swan Hellenic to come. That'll be in your inbox probably by the end of this week. I think I told you it's going to be, let's see, down here. It's going to be the week of March 17th. So I got some emails today. I think we have them all. So if I can get them out to you by Friday, that'll be great. Otherwise, it'll be Monday. Then the last thing on the checklist is to install WhatsApp. I know that some of the members said they're not on WhatsApp. So I'm going to say the following. If you have WhatsApp or you think you can download it, please do that. And the reason is that you can text me on my regular phone number. I have international service and I use WhatsApp, but not everybody has international service. You're able to contact your phone provider and tell them that you're going to Chile and to Peru and that you want to understand what the parameters are or what is the cost to do international texts and calls and access to the internet. And they can tell you most companies, I think I heard lately, they were like, $10 a day, but I heard some rumors that they're going up to $12 a day. I personally have Verizon, and based on the program that I have, I get unlimited access in any country that I'm at. But my service is around $80 a month. But I have Verizon, so with that $80 a month, I have unlimited access. Doesn't matter what country I'm in, and I don't pay any extra. But everybody has different ones. But I wanted to let you guys know that this is a new product that I found out with Verizon. And I'm super pleased because no matter where I go, it just says, welcome to X country. You have unlimited text, unlimited calls, and 10 meg of internet. If you don't have that, you're probably going to pay by the day. Well, some people don't want to pay the extra, but I urge you and I implore you to please get on WhatsApp so that if you're in a place that has free internet, you just go ahead and connect yourself to the Wi-Fi and then you have access to internet, and that's free. So if you don't want to get your phone connected in, at least get the WhatsApp. It's so important for travel day. Because we have stories of, people traveling and they miss a flight and then they don't have service because they didn't set it up and then they have no way to reach us. So it's really important. So whether you do the $10 a day and you're ready to bite the bullet on that, for some people it's not a problem. Some don't want to spend it. But at least if you get the WhatsApp, you can text me. My number is the same. It's the 815-715-6998. So I would just say, here it is. Everybody should put a contact in your phone number that says Tammy, and then it's 815-715-6998. So that no matter what, you can contact me. You can call me, you can text me. That's going to be the best way. So if you have a delay, I'm going to be monitoring flights on the other end in Santiago. But if you have a delay that you know about, just let me know. And then I'm going to be in contact with the local transportation company. We want to make sure that we pick you up at the airport. Don't want anybody being nervous. Who speaks Spanish? Anybody here? Okay. That's,
Praise.
Just you.
that's me. Okay,
Yeah.
super. Great. So you're in good hands. I speak Spanish. So you text me, I call my contacts, I tell them, so and so's flight is changed. Please make sure you pick them up. I'm going to be monitoring. I'm going to make sure everybody gets there. Okay. Any questions about WhatsApp or, internet access that you want to ask me?
Tammy, when I went to Australia and New Zealand, Verizon had $100 30-day plan.
That's great. Okay, that's nice. And then it was unlimited then for you for the 30 days.
Yep. Yeah, unlimited for 30 days for $100.
Okay. Well, since this is like a 9 day, it might be, yeah, you know what? Six of one, half dozen of the other. That's going to be 90 if you do by the day. 10 per day. So
Well, I'm
Verizon
also
went to
joining.
12.
It
Well, I'm
was,
also going to
Nice.
Peru. Yeah, so 17 days.
yeah, for you.
Oh,
Right. So
nice.
anybody
Right.
who's doing the back-to-back trips then, because some of the folks here tonight are doing just the cruise. Some of you are
Okay.
doing the cruise and the Peru. So that's a great point, Ed. You're going to be doing, Roger, you're going to be doing the full thing. So the $100
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah. Deal.
All right. Does anybody have questions that gives anybody unsure about this? That's kind of what I want to know. I know those some of us get it and we're on WhatsApp already, but is there anybody? And by the way, let me say this. If you don't want to announce that tonight, that's fine. How about you? I'm going to email tomorrow and you all have my phone number. So you're in the USA, text me, say, Tammy, I need help with the WhatsApp. So then I can privately, you don't have to admit it tonight, but I can I can call you and I'll help you get on the WhatsApp. So we can, make sure that you're connected.
Well, normally what Tammy does and our other concierges do, they set up like a group chat on WhatsApp. So it's really good to be on the WhatsApp because you can there's changes in an excursion or dinner is going to be late or anything else. And we could talk to each other back and forth. So
Yes, that's
so I'm just pushing WhatsApp from Tammy. Okay.
yeah, so I want everybody like, because again, we're 50 plus, so varied skill levels. Don't be embarrassed. We weren't born with this stuff. We need coaching. So if you want to touch base with me privately, just let me know, hey, I need some help on that because I want to make sure you're on and you're good. And I can do it when we're on the trip, but I would much rather have you have some level of familiarity before we go in case you have an emergency on the way and you need to contact me. So, okay. So enough said with that. Um, Let me move down a smidge. We talked about the passports. We talked about insurance. If you haven't have insurance and you would like to get insurance, send me that message and I can send you a quote. I think you should get it. Um, there's different offers. So I'm able to provide you with multiple quotes. We're very close now. So even if you didn't purchase insurance and you want to still get insurance, we can offer you a policy that doesn't cover cancellation. So if you got to cancel before you go, Roger, would you mind muting for just a second? I think that's you. I hear some background noise. So we can also issue an insurance policy that we call pack and go, and it's all the coverage for once you're on the road. So it's not going to cover if you have a last minute mishap, which most of the policies cover, which is what makes them more expensive. But if you want this last minute to cover you for medical and travel expenses, if you have a delay or anything like that, we can do that. It's usually under $100. So contact us. Let me know if you want, if you didn't buy insurance and you're interested, and we can send you a quote there. Travel documents we talked about next week. If I can get it to you by Friday, great. Otherwise, it'll be Monday, and that's going to be your actual cruise ticket. So I also have copies of everybody's cruise ticket, but if you want to have that, we're sending it anyway. That way you have it in your hot little hands. So moving down here, this is all about connecting. I showed you how to use the chat. We have a ton of social media, guys, and if you're not following us, you may want to do that because today we offered a free cruise. So we put it out there. We also send an email for our premium members because we had one spot that we needed to fill. And that's one of the perks of being a premium member. If you follow us on any of our social media, what's the most what are most of you guys on? Facebook, Instagram, TikTok? Give me a
Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook and Instagram seem to be the most popular.
Yeah, Facebook.
All right. Anybody on TikTok? Okay,
Nope.
quick. Does anybody want to ask me what's TikTok? That's okay. All right. Well, good. That's fine because we know that already. Everybody in our age range is on Facebook. we are really trying to improve um, our ranking on Facebook. So I'll talk to you on the trip about that. We're going to give bonuses for reviews on Facebook. But if you're not following us already, go to facebook.com/singles travel international. I'm going to try to, I can't highlight it here because it's going to go there. But if you're not, you just go into your normal Facebook and go to the search bar and put in the whole spelled out word Singles Travel International and follow us. We post, we're going to be posting the whole time we're together in Chile and Peru. And so it's a lot of fun. And then when you're following us, you get to see now you're going to make a bunch of new friends. You're going to see them traveling. And that's what really I think is part of the beauty of the community. So check it out. And at Instagram, we're at Singles Travel. So those two, but we also have we have we have accounts on all of the social media. So moving down here, travel day. I want to make sure that everybody is super comfortable with, while you're traveling. I talked about sending me a message on WhatsApp. You can also call the office, but I think you're better to text me this time because I'm the leader. So normally, if there's another concierge, this is a good process to follow. Call the toll-free number, press 0. But I'm gonna just say you should text me because I'm going to be down there. I'll be ready for you and I'll be waiting. If you do the office, that's fine. They're just going to text me anyway. So whatever you're more comfortable with, if that feels good, then you can go ahead and catch us on the emergency number at the office. When you are at the airport, so I'm going to scoot down here a little bit. Well, I'm going to digress. So for baggage, um, for luggage, we've got some questions about this. So most of the airlines, you'll have to check with the airline that you booked. Everyone, I think, pretty much is on American and Delta or LATAM, from what I could see. So you have the ability to check one bag for 50 pounds. Most of them for international, it's going to be free. So just make sure you're in that 50 pound. And if you're over 50 pounds, you might have to pay a little excess luggage. But you should check with your airline website and just go to their website, aa.com, delta.com, and in the search box, just put baggage restrictions and it'll come up. And then you'll know exactly what you are entitled to carry as far as the weight goes and the dimensions. Um, Again, this goes without saying, but don't pack any money, travel documents, like don't pack your passport because you're going to need it to check in anyway. Jewelry or medicine. You'd be surprised how many people pack, if they're diabetes medicine or something that's critical, thinking, oh, I'll just, I'll take one dose and I'll get it when I get there. Don't pack that stuff because if your luggage gets lost, that could be a potential problem for you. If you have some kind of medication, and I'm not talking about gummies, but if you have some medication that you need, I would also recommend bringing maybe a picture of the label of the bottle. Because if you bring some and you pack some, or maybe a copy of the prescription, because if we get down there and you need to get it refilled, I can help you with that, but we'll need to know what the information is. So how many milligrams, what is the name of the medication? More information you have, the better. I like to take pictures of that kind of information. I also have a picture of my passport. I'm going to have your passports, but I put that all in my phone. I create an album. So I have an iPhone, and I'm sure the Androids have a similar feature. I create an album of the things that I'm going to need on the vacation. So I might take a picture of the final vacation details, the passport, any medication that I have, and then it's all in an album. So if I need to find it, I just go to the album, I click on it, and there are all my images. So I hope that's helpful. If your bag is delayed, so you get to Santiago and your bag isn't there, you 100% without exception must go and make a report in the Santiago airport. So I know that we have a shuttle meeting you or a private transfer. So you would tell them, my bag didn't come and you have to make the report. Usually you're doing it inside of the baggage claim. So when you come into Santiago, you're going to pick up your bags and then you go through immigration and customs. Customs is last. You should make the report while you're inside with the baggage claim. So then they're going to give you a report. It's going to have, like, if you're on Delta, it's going to be DL and it'll have 6 digits. Then with that information, I can help you track the luggage. And you can also, these days, I'm kind of old school because I've been doing this a long time. A lot of, especially with American and Delta, you can go on their app. You should download your app of your airline and you can actually track your bags there. But I'm happy to help, but you have to make the report. If you don't make the report and you come to the hotel and you're like, Tammy, I lost my bag, we're
Hey,
going to have a difficult time following up
my
on that.
neighbor's calling me. She comes to the door. My
So
neighbor.
that's the scoop on delayed
Okay.
luggage. And now I'm going to move down to your arrival flight. So you guys see everybody else is coming in around the same time. We've got lots of Atlanta. We have a couple Miami, a couple of Dallas. So again, if you want to ask the gate agent to make an announcement, they usually do. At least in my day, when I was doing that, I was happy to do it. So you can meet at the gate, and then we're going to have a local representative meeting you when you arrive. So when you get to the airport, the information is here. Let's see. Okay, so arrival in Santiago. Um, hold on a second. I think I passed it. Go back up here. Yes. So this is on page 4 of your final vacation details right here. So it says pass through immigration and proceed to the baggage area to collect your bags. Continue through customs and make your way to the arrivals hall. Okay, it's the same in every airport, right? This is not unique. If you've traveled before, you know how this kind of flows. And then it says you will be greeted by a Swan Hellenic representative at arrivals close to La Pica restaurant between gates 3 and 4. You can't picture it now, but when you get out of the customs area and you look around, just look for La Pica restaurant. And I would print this or have it on your phone. So when you come out, like if you're not finding it, you can show it to somebody. Like, I'm looking for La Pica. I know it's crazy, but we get calls over all these years. They just arrived in the airport and they're like, where am I going? So take down this information as well as have a printout of your hotel. Just take a picture of this, so that you have it. That could go in your album, right? That I was talking about. Or you can print the page. If you're old school, that's a lot of us are, just print the page. Have this information though, so that you know where you're going. Because if there's any issue with the transfer company, you don't find them, which I doubt is going to happen because I'm there, I'm preparing. I'm going to be in contact with the transfer company that day. But just in case you had to take a taxi, I will reimburse you, but you still have to know the hotel that you're going to, right? So it's a Hyatt Centric Las Condes, and maybe the taxi driver doesn't speak English. So you would show him this piece of paper and then or your screenshot. It's so much easier. It's going to make your life a lot easier if you do that. So when you come out, you're going to look for the Swan Hellenic representative. They're going to have a Swan Hellenic sign and they'll be at La Pica restaurant between gates 3 and 4. So that's easy if it all works. Now you have how it works and the backup plan in case you have a problem.
Tammy,
Yeah.
I did check, if you go up a little bit above like your arrival times, I was reading this earlier and I decided I needed to check my arrival times and I sent an email to the service, as you asked about, you told us to do up above that. And so my flight is at 8:35, I believe, instead of 9. So I sent you the departure and arrival times
All
via
right.
that.
Is this Lisa?
Yes.
So you see, we have you showing for 8:35. So I think,
That's the arrival time, but my departure time is nine. It's you said it's 9 p.m. It's at 8:35 p.m. And then I
okay.
get there. I just sent a text message, or an email.
So you're not getting there at 8:35 anymore?
I'm getting there earlier.
So that means
7:50.
Roger is too, because that flight, you guys are on the same flight, 9:45.
Mhm.
So, okay, so that's fine. So I'll update this. I'm not going to update, we won't update this letter, but we'll update our manifest based on your new information and we'll make sure that we have the latest information.
Okay, I just wanted to
Thank
uh,
you.
let you know about that. I sent an email to service, so you've got a record of it.
You got it. So I'll check on that tomorrow and I'll update it. And so that means Roger's also going to be the same because Roger, you're on the same flight, 9:45. So we'll be there for you though. It's probably just a couple minutes different, right?
It's about 25, 30 minutes or something like that.
Okay. All right. Super. Great. And it could change again.
Not a long time, so it's not a big deal.
Well, I have everybody's info. So when I get to Santiago, I'm going in a day early. I'll check with the transfer company and we go over the whole list and we double check everybody's and make sure that we have the latest data for the flight. So, and then of course that morning we double check because flights can be delayed. So we'll be on top of it. But if anybody has any changes, please do the same. Send us an email at service@singlestravelintl.com. Great.
Yeah, I mean, my American app says we're leaving at 9 o'clock for Dallas.
From Dallas, but what time do you arrive in Santiago?
8:35.
Okay.
My app says 8:30 for flight
That's
9:45. So I don't.
5 minutes.
Yeah, no, but that's crazy. But I'll look it up. Don't worry.
No, it's 8:30 p.m. and arrives at 7:55 a.m.
Okay. I'll look it up. Okay. I promise. I'll make sure that you guys get picked up and you're gonna be together, Lisa and Roger.
Okay, I got a travel buddy. Yay.
Got a travel buddy. Yes. Roger's a nice guy. All right, so super. So we talk about the arrivals. Does anybody have questions about the arrival? Okay. Super duper. We're going to be at the Hyatt Centric, beautiful hotel, good location. Part of your package is, one night, taxes, breakfast, you're transferred to the ship the following day to Valparaiso, and full service of your concierge, Tammy. I'm going to be there. So I'm going in a day in advance. I'm going to scope out some places for us so we can find a good place for dinner. There is a nice restaurant at the hotel, but I still want to see what some of the options are. And I have a feeling most of the group will be tired because a lot of us are on overnight flights. So you notice when I get down here, when you guys arrive in the morning, we're getting in at 6:40, 8:30, 8:35, whatever. Everybody's going to be at the hotel by 11 in the morning. You'll all be there. So I'm going to do a hospitality desk at 11 in the hotel lobby. That means I'll be there greeting you as you all arrive. And I'm going to do my very best to try to get the rooms ready early because check-in is at 3. So, I mean, there's, nothing worse. You come on an overnight flight and you're tired already and kind of cranky, and then you're going to show up. So, I'm going to do my best to get the rooms ready. If I cannot, I'll also have a little plan for some lunch. We can do something together as a group, and then at 3 o'clock we'll check in. But I have every confidence that I'm going to be able to get at least some of the rooms cleared so that you can go in and get yourself settled. And then I'll have the desk at 11, have some the welcome packet. We can talk about what's happening for the next day, for the rest of that day and the following day. We'll get together at 6 for dinner and a happy hour. Again, we'll meet in the lobby because I don't have an idea yet. They have a rooftop bar, but it's booked for some reason. They have a private event. So I have to get there and twist some arms and see what we can do. I have a feeling it's going to be available. I'm surprised that at 6 o'clock at night in Santiago, Chile, they have an event there. But if it's not going to be on the rooftop of our hotel, we'll have something very nearby, and I'll have all of that information by the time you guys arrive. On the 27th, we'll have breakfast together. That's included. And then we transfer over to the ship, which is in Valparaiso. So on board the vessel, primary money is US dollar. In Santiago, it's going to be the Chilean peso. My recommendation, well, so there's different personalities. Some people like to get their ducks in a row and they want to go to get their money in advance. You can go to your local bank, tell them that you need some Chilean pesos and some Peruvian soles. And I would probably get like 100 of each, 100 USD, because you have a transfer when you get there. Um, then we're going to be one night at the Hyatt. If we go out, you can use your credit card. Then we're going to board the ship. So you probably don't really need that much cash. So if you're the kind of person that likes to be prepared and you want to have the cash, go to your bank and tell them you want like $100 in each of those two currencies. For me, I wait till I get to the Santiago airport. So I'm going to arrive in Santiago and I will go and I'll exchange $100 or $200 right there in that area where you're going to pick up your bags, right? So you pick up your luggage. There's usually an exchange bank right there. And if not there, just immediately after, while you're going to that place to meet the Swan Hellenic rep, there's going to be a bank exchange facility. So I'm kind of like, I don't want to waste my time going to the bank and get it done in advance. So I do it at the airport. But for those of you guys who have time and you like to get your ducks in a row, go to your local bank. You have time to order your money up front. We recommend three. People ask us, well, how much should I get? So I'm gonna say this is a personal decision based on your how are your travel habits. If you're a big shopper, probably you can use your credit card in most places, but sometimes in the small markets, especially, in the little cities, you want to have cash so you can negotiate. Some of us aren't comfortable negotiating, but these are countries where negotiation is part of the culture, so it's completely acceptable. And it's nice to have the local currency to be able to do that. Um,
Tammy, will we be able to do it at the hotel or the ship?
yes, you will. And the question following that comes up, will I get the best rate? No, but when you're exchanging $100 to $200, you're talking about $15 difference, right? It's not an enormous amount of money. So if you were exchanging 20, $30,000, and yeah, you would want a rate that's going to be like a 1% point or something, but you're going to pay a little bit more at a hotel. You're going to pay a little bit more on the ship for the exchange than you might from your bank, but it's convenient and it's not a grand amount. So I wouldn't stress it. All right. Any other questions about the money?
So you're basically saying that
Euro dollars not accepted there? Do they not use the euro dollars?
You can exchange euros, but you still have to exchange whether it's US or euros to the local currency. They're not going to just take your euros
Okay,
in a lot of
great.
places. Yeah. I know, like, sometimes we travel in the Caribbean, everybody takes the USD, Mexico, everyone takes USD. But mm, inside South America, Europe, they'll take it for a tip or something like that. But most businesses conduct their business in their local currency. So you're not going to find a
Okay,
widely accepted practice of just letting you pay with the USD.
okay, thanks.
Tammy, so as opposed to like, getting an exchange at the Dallas airport as opposed to the Santiago airport, the Santiago airport would probably be a better
Yes.
exchange rate.
Your most expensive place of all of these options is going to be the Dallas airport or like Miami airport. Your US airport is going to be
Mhm.
the most expensive.
Okay.
Yeah. Learn that lesson the hard way.
That's why I asked the expert.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, all right, any more questions about the money, guys?
Nope.
The ship's in USD, so you're going to use your credit card aboard the ship for all of your onboard expenses. Okay, great. Pop up if anything comes to your mind in the meantime. For shore excursions, boy, Kim did a beautiful job here. She is my expert on spreadsheets, and she really, I can't believe she fit this like, it looks great. So the green ones are the included. And then the ones that are not in green highlight are the additional. And these were the excursions that you guys requested. You know, if you now that you look this over, if you want to change anything, just let me know. You can send an email to service and I can update it. They're going to confirm everything once we get on board. So it's still not too late. And then I just want to I outline a couple of things. Like for example, I know that I'm going to go backwards here. I'm going to state like the day we're doing the flying over the Nazca lines. They're going to they told me they're going to make sure that we can all do this included Ballestas Island and the Nazca lines, which I thought was super cool because we included the Nazca lines as our own singles travel special inclusion because I thought you cannot go down here and not do this, right? So we included that, but then they included one. So they told me that they're going to try to make sure that we can do both. Now, I know that several of you asked for the dune buggy adventure, right? So you can see here in this column, you know, that does everything here, the dune buggy. So there's 3 members that want the dune buggy. They know that. So when we get on board, I'll get the answer. Believe me, I sent them emails already to try to just get the
I'm
schedule.
signing up for airlines. You go.
Could you just tell me, guys, if this is possible? And I haven't gotten an answer, and I've been
Yes.
trying for months. But in the meantime, we'll know once we get on board. So then, once we have the final details, if somebody wants to do dune buggy in case instead of one of the others, you can just let me know at that time. I think the only other conflict was, I think. The 3 ladies are doing this, which sounds amazing. The Atacama Pachamama ceremony. That is all day. So I don't think you're going to be able to do anything but that. So you can kind of see we didn't include you 3. So that's Renee and Felice and Wanda. I didn't include you on the highlights of the Antofagasta tour because I think your guys are going to go early and you're going to be gone all day. Um, One thing I do want to check though, like for Renee, I know you're looking at the Sunset and Stars as an addition. My gut is that again, because your tour is 15 hours, I think that's going to consume your day there. So if you have any changes, I mean, I think this Atacama Desert and Pachamama ceremony is going to be the that's going to be the real deal. So I would do that, but I'm not sure you'll be able to do the Sunset and Stars, but we'll know when we get there. So. But everything else I think is fitting into scheme here. If anybody wants to change anything, please just send an email to service@singlestravelintl.com. And then I will document your request. And once we get on board the ship, I'll have answers for everybody uh, for everything.
Tammy,
Yes.
what kind of elevation are we going to be in?
Here, you know what? That's a great question. I don't really know, but I'm going to ask my AI guy. Hold on one second. What are the highest? If anybody's not using Perplexity in Santiago, Atacama, can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Atacama, Paracas. Let's see what we get here. And if I don't get it now, I won't waste your time. I can look this up and I can put it tomorrow in the email when I send the recording. I can put all of that in there. Let's kind of see what we're getting from these guys. Still searching. But we're certainly not at any kind of elevation that you need to take any medication. Okay, so Santiago, and we're not going to this mountain here. Atacama, we're looking at the highest mountain, volcanoes, okay, 22,000, but I don't think we're going up to these points. Caracas is 2,500. Yeah, so I'll look it up after tonight's meeting, and I'm going to double check with Swan Hellenic to find out where we are. But I know when we're in Peru, we are going to be at 12 to 14,000. I don't think that's going to be the case on this one, but I'll triple check it.
How
Any other?
about the weather? How about the weather? What is the weather supposed to be?
Okay, here we go. Down here, we're gonna talk about, I'm gonna get to that in 1 second. Let me just talk about the themes, right? So first of all, we always ask everybody, what's your talent, right? So if you guys, if anybody, if anybody's a name that tune rock star, call it out early, Renee. Renee and I were on a cruise in when were we? In November. And she brought the house down with one of our games that we played. So now I'm going to put her in charge for the next one. But if anybody has talents, like if you were like a yoga instructor or you're into photography or you're a dance instructor or anything that you could be that could be fun to share with the other members and you're open to that, then let me know earlier the better, because we have 3C days, so it'd be fun to do something together that we, learn from each other. I'm happy to help teach Spanish. Sergio is going to be there. He plays guitar, piano. If anybody's interested in any of those things, we're happy to share our talents with you for sure. And then we're going to do, yeah.
Tammy, I'm a professional photographer. I've done a lot of sports for 27 high schools and a lot of weddings. So I love
Okay.
photography.
Well, then, I'm going to put you in charge of anybody who wants to learn how to do, because we're going to do some stargazing. We're going to see some amazing things. So if you have some tips, maybe one of the mornings at breakfast or something, we can say, step on
That's
over.
great. I
Yeah,
love it.
good.
I jumped on my Nikons because now my phone does better than even they did.
That crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is. That's great. So this is Barbara, right? This is
Yes.
Barbara. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Any other talents?
Can't say.
Okay. All right. Well, look, and I know that everybody's at a different level in terms of like putting your foot forward. So take your time, you get to know the people. That's totally fine. If on the third or fourth day you're like, you know what, Tammy, I'm kind of good at this, I'd like to share, then we'll do it, right? But if you want to be you're private, that's okay too. Don't worry about it. Don't feel any pressure. Um, but theme night. So we're going to do a carnival. So this is called the Carnival Andino con la Fuerza del Sol. So we're just going to miss it because it was in February, but we're going to recreate it when we get there. And if you take um this theme name and put it into Google or AI and ask for images, you can see it's all about color. So you can just see these girls are in turquoise and pinks and reds, and even the guys. I got this picture so you guys can see. The men, he's got a red shirt, but they have like sashes and they're very colorful. And we're going to do the theme night towards the end so that you have a time in all of the Chilean ports that we visit to pick up some accessories. Maybe you'll find some jewelry or you'll find a hat or just something, maybe the sash, or you might even find these beautifully embroidered blouses. Um, Guys, you can see what this looks like. And I think you're going to find the attire when you get there. So just think about your base, maybe you have a colorful shirt, like a red shirt, a blue shirt, a purple shirt. Um, any pair of slacks is fine because then we'll find some accessories along the way. It'll be a lot of fun. And for those of you who haven't traveled with us before, usually 80 to 90% of the members costume up. And because we all do, then it's cool, right? So you're not going to feel out of place. That's usually the question, like, oh my God, we're the only ones in the costume. I'm going to feel weird. But our group doesn't. And then we bring the life to the cruise ship because they're going to be like, oh my God, what are these people? This is so fun. And so we're going to play music and we're just going to dance and we're going to be dressed up in colorful attire. And it makes for a lot of fun and it makes great Facebook posts and great Instagram posts for you. So all your friends at home can see you're having a good time and it's really special. So kind of prepare for that. Um, on a more practical side, I'm talking here about the electrical current. We are going to be 110 on the ship. So it's got both 110 and European. In Santiago, that is a good question. I'm actually looking at this right now, and I'm going to have to follow up with you guys on what the skinny is for Santiago. And for those of you that are going to do the Peruvian week, Mysteries of Peru, with me afterward. Your documents are coming out next week, and that is like Europe there. So I promise tomorrow when I send this recording, I'm going to tell you what the voltage is in the hotel in Santiago. So
The
why?
voltage should be 210. The adapters, I think, are A, C, and L.
Yeah, it is. So it's like Europe. I think you're right, Renee. And the thing is that so here's what you need. We're there for one. So if you most of the iPhones and most of the modern, I have an iPhone, so I'm not sure about Android. Most of the modern electronics have a dual voltage capacity. So look at your equipment and make sure because what happens is if you plug a US item in and you don't have an adapter, a converter, you'll burn up your device. So because you want to step down the 220 to 110. So the volts are 220. We go on 110 in the USA. So if you plug a 110 into a 220, you might have an adapter that'll allow the plug difference, but if you don't have a converter to step it down, it'll burn your equipment. So again, check your phones. What else do we have? Like maybe a curling iron. Most of the hotels have hair dryers. Gents for shavers. I mean, if you're using electric shaver, the bathrooms usually have a 110. But if you're shaving with a razor, you don't need it. So there's not a lot that we actually need anymore because, like Barb said, we're not even using the camera equipment, we're using phones, and most of them are equipped for a dual voltage and a dual current scenario. So check your own stuff. And then tomorrow when I send the email, I'll put that in there. But I think you're right, Renee. I think it's an AC which is but I'm gonna find out exactly at the hotel what it is.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm pretty sure it's A and C, but then I was thinking the other one was L.
yeah,
That I'm not as sure of.
yeah, but we'll find out. One recommendation I like to make is if you have a couple of things that you do want to charge, like I have my earbuds, I have my phone and my laptop. So bringing a power strip is good because then whatever converter adapter scenario you have, then you can plug your power strip in and you have multiple outlets for your devices. All right, guys, we're at 8 o'clock. So I'm sorry I'm going over a little bit, but these are great questions. the fit and willing to travel commitment, everybody signed it, so I'm good with that. Just double check your departure dates, your transfer back to the airport. If you're ending on April 5th is included, so I'll organize that once we get on board and give you all the information that you need. And then you can see in the last column here, Kimberly added mystical highlights of Peru, who everybody who's on the back-to-back tour. And then I've made a couple of special arrangements with members to join us to get back to Lima. So that's all confirmed. If you talk to us, everything's all confirmed, and we'll finalize that once we're on board when we get towards the end of the trip.
Hi, Tammy, this is Wanda. I have a question about that.
Sure.
So my flight out, and I think there might be one or two other people who have a flight to Atlanta, but we don't leave until almost midnight that night. Can we go to the hotel with you so we can stash our luggage, so we can wander around instead of having to spend 15 hours at the airport? Or do you have any suggestions on what we can do?
It's a really good question. I didn't devise anything. Let me check. So we have a vehicle already for there's 11 of us going to the Marriott. And we're in Miraflores, which is a nice area. The cruise ship included in the package, the airport transfer.
Mhm.
Let's if it's okay with you, I think that we're going to get much better information once we get on board the ship, since we have a full week. And then I'll get a chance to talk to the purser and I'll be like, what do you guys do with the folks that have the late flights? Because probably
Yeah.
everybody does.
I would guess that there's other people on the ship, not even in our group, that may be on that same flight too, and kind of having the same questions.
And I'll ask, but in the meantime, I'll also ask our representative for the Peru trip to see like if we needed to get more people on the bus, could we get a bigger bus? What's the skinny on that? What's the cost?
Okay.
Because that is an extra cost.
Mhm.
Whereas with the cruise line, it's included. Uh,
Sure.
so I want to make sure that I do the most economical thing for you guys, but then also comfort and convenience, right?
Okay, that
So
sounds good. I
yeah,
just would rather not spend 15 hours in an airport.
yeah. I think that makes sense. I think
Okay,
that, yeah. And I
great.
see right now, I could see, well, let's see, so you and Cheryl are on the 11:20. It looks like sorry, yeah. Cheryl, and
No, Sherry's on a different date.
oh, Sherry's back to back, right? So Cheryl's on that flight, and Wanda,
Oh, so maybe it's just two of us.
Three?
right? Because the rest are back to back, and then they're also at like 12:15. There's one, and David's at 6:45. So that's still going to be, so there's three of you that have a later flight. So I'll work on it when we get on board. We'll talk to the
Okay,
person, see, because sometimes the cruise lines, naturally they know when there's a late departure, they offer a tour transfer.
sure.
So for those that have like a flight, if it's after a certain time that they could safely take you on the tour where you're on the bus and your luggage is with you and they drop everyone at the airport at like 6 o'clock or something.
Yep,
That's often an
that
option.
would that would be a great option if
Yeah.
they have that.
So we'll make sure that I'll check on that early when I
Okay,
have my meeting with them.
perfect.
Yeah, great.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Tammy,
Yeah,
luggage tags for the ship. We'll get that in our package when we get to Santiago.
yes, yeah,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so weather, Barbara. Nice segue.
Yeah.
So the weather is going to be, it's basically going to be warm in the daytime and a little chilly in the nighttime. So like I would prepare summerish weather because it's 80s in the 80s, right? So in the day, you're going to want to have your sunscreen in your hats and light lightweight clothing. But as we hit the nighttime, whether we're at sea or we're in port and we're at an excursion, it's going to be quite chilly. So I would bring some fleece, some sweatshirts, because those are snuggy and warm, right? And then maybe a little or a light jacket, or a little sweater with a light jacket, so that you can layer on and layer off. That's the best advice. It's not going to be mittens and boots, so you're not going to be that cold, right? So probably the coldest it might get, I'm going to say could be like, let's say there's a fluky moment, it might be like 65 degrees. Now for me, since I'm in Florida, that's chilly. I had to be prepared for that. But for some people, well, actually, it was chilly until 6 years ago before I hit that, the M period. I'm in menopause, so I'm hot all the time. But if it's, 65 is not really that cold for most of us. So for me, that would be just like a fleece or a sweatshirt or a sweater. No accessories. I don't think you're gonna need a scarf or mittens or anything like that.
It's
So
like Florida weather. It's totally Florida weather.
Florida in the winter, like right now,
Yeah,
January, February,
right,
March, where we
right.
get chilliness. But we got people from all over. So the Minnesota people, you're good. Indiana, you're good. It's not gonna be too much of a stretch.
65 is a heat wave.
I
And
know.
in Florida, we're having tornadoes right now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Minnesota, you're gonna be in a bikini. Like you're like, oh, I'm good. So, yeah.
I was
So
gonna say this Boston lady is not gonna need a coat.
Boston's not going to need a
No,
coat. Yeah.
I'll
No,
be
you guys
fine.
are going to be fine. Even California, right? Susan, it gets kind of like very nice on the coast.
It's
So
beautiful here.
yeah. So it's a great weather. It's a great time to weather. Just bring layers because you can always, if you have like a little backpack or a little day pack, you can put your stuff in there, your sunscreen, your hat, and a layer, your phone, your backup battery for your phone. Like I always forget to bring that. But put all that in a little day pack or a backpack so you can always layer up and layer down.
What about at night? We're gonna be out on the water?
Yeah, so it's a cruise ship. So if you go up on deck and one night early, I definitely want to do a stargazing with you guys because it's going to be amazing. And brush up on your trivia. Hint, hint, your stargazing trivia. So it's going to be so pretty out there. So yes, if you want to go up on deck, you're going to want to probably put something because it can be because we're moving 20 knots, right? 20 knots per hour. So we'll have a little bit of a breeze. It could be chilly, windy. You might want to have a little jacket on. And then other than that, it's pretty casual on this ship, which is cool. This is an expedition ship. This is a really unique scenario from what we're used to with, the big celebrities and the Royal Caribbean cruises. There's only 150 some guests, so it's going to be very exclusive, high level of service, expedition style. And it's not formal, even though the dining is upscale and the service is upscale, but it's relaxed. So there's no gowns, there's no dressing up the whole time. So just bring, for guys, I mean, the only main thing, and sorry, the guys, you always get hit up. It's like girls can wear whatever they want, but you men must wear slacks in the dining room at night. But there's no rules about a collar or anything. So if you have a polo shirt, that's fine. If you want to wear a button-down shirt with a collar, that's also fine. I always think the best dressed guys, that's good. That's a good idea. Um, but very, very, very casual. So sneakers, yeah, and they say this is their information. Keep footwear to a minimum. So you don't need a suitcase full of shoes because there's nothing fancy. It's really relaxed. Workout outfits, yoga pants, I can picture. Very easy breezy. Sorry, I can't make it any more complicated. So, all right. Prescriptions, we talked about it, original containers and, pictures of the label. So in case it gets lost, you have some backup so we can try to find it for you if we need to. That would be the emergency. We talked about internet. We're going to have unlimited Wi-Fi on board, but you won't have that in Santiago. You'll have it at the Hyatt. You'll have Wi-Fi. So that's why the WhatsApp is so cool, because if you get WhatsApp, we can be on Wi-Fi and we can send messages to each other on WhatsApp the whole time, like Roger was saying earlier. So I'll circle back on that. Not only is it important while you're arriving in Santiago, but while we're on the trip the whole time. So I'm going to give you a weekly schedule when we get to Santiago. But I know after the first day, everybody tucks it somewhere, and it's not the kind, I don't see everybody carrying it around, even though that would be great. But there are changes. So every day on WhatsApp, I'm going to send, hey guys, here's the State of the Union. This is what's happening today. And also you're on vacation, so you shouldn't have to memorize a bunch of details. And I will constantly be feeding you with the next half a day information. Here's what we're doing next. So you'll always know what's coming up. So that's why the WhatsApp. And then you guys can share, like you might be somewhere really cool and take a picture and post it on WhatsApp to share with everybody else. You might see a rainbow. Not everybody else got to see it, so you share it with the group. Or you might see something really interesting that was unique, and it's something that you want to share with everybody else. So that is the cool part about WhatsApp. Somebody, we don't have this in here, but I did get a question this morning about inoculation. So there is nothing mandatory, but you should check with your doctor based on your health condition to ask him or her to check the requirements to travel to Santiago and or to Chile and Peru, and would he recommend? So the typical ones are hepatitis A and B, typhoid. That's pretty much, and you should always have your three. It's like tetanus, diphtheria, and pertussis, I think. Those are the regular ones. And I'm not kidding. When I was in Vietnam, with the group in November, I was walking in this little town. Actually, it was in Cambodia, and one of our members stepped on a nail. You always say, "Oh, you need the tetanus shot for if you step on a rusty nail, right?" But you never imagine it's going to happen. I'm not trying to laugh, but she did. She stepped. There was a piece of wood with a nail, and she stepped on it, and it went through her shoe. And our local guide was there, and he stopped and did a quick first aid, and she was okay. But I'm like, what are the chances, right? So they increase when you're on a tour, because you're walking around, you're taking pictures, you're looking at all these fascinating things, and they're not first world. So it's not like they have OSHA and they have all the same kind of safety and security parameters that we have here in the States. So I would get those, make sure you're up to date on that. Some gals have told me they have to get tetanus now and diphtheria because their kids have for their grandkids. Like it's a mandatory thing. If you're going to handle a baby now, you have to have those. So many of you might have it, but those are the recommended, but not mandatory. So check with your doctors, make sure you are properly prepared.
Tammy, what did you find out about the water? Like the water on the ship?
The water on the ship will be fine. The water in the hotel is going to be fine. And whenever we're on tour and it's not going to be fine, we'll have water for you.
Okay, I'm just curious because my doctor said don't even run your toothbrush under the
Correct.
faucet.
That's right. Yeah. On the ship, you'll be okay, but we're going to have bottled water. So I would say that brushing your teeth, better to use the bottled water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not worth a chance. Any more questions?
Tammy, this is Kate. I just had one question because I'm on the back-to-back as well. And I'm a terrible packer, I'm trying to be good. Is there a place where we could possibly, because I know on the next trip there's some restrictions on luggage a little more stringent than this. Is there a place that we could possibly store luggage at that Lima, Peru airport by chance? Or is that something anybody's ever asked?
No, but that's a really good question, and thanks, because I meant to talk about this tonight.
Okay.
So first of all, the ship has laundry. Now I know you didn't say you wanted to do laundry, but the ship has laundry. There's laundry.
No, I did see that, and I think that's going to be really helpful, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you
Yeah.
can do that. The restriction in Peru is actually not that bad. You're allowed to let me hold on one second. I looked this up before we came on here today, and for Latam, which is the flight we're going to be on, you are allowed one checked bag of 23 kilos, which is 50 pounds. So that's pretty much the same as one bag. So if you need two bags, that I would try to limit yourself to one check bag, which is 50 pounds and 62 linear inches, right? So that's your width, your depth, and the height, the width, the length, and the depth. Add those numbers up, and they should be under 62 inches.
Okay.
But that's a pretty big
That's
suitcase.
a big bag. Yeah. Yeah.
And then you have up to 50 pounds. So that's already included in your flights between Lima and Cusco
And
and Cusco
Cusco.
back to Lima.
Oh, perfect. Okay, that's great. Thank you. I thought it might be 40 or something like that, so I was just a little
No.
concerned. Okay,
And
great.
then you get one check-in bag, which can be 26 pounds with the maximum dimensions of this. Which I have
I'm no longer worried. That's
Yeah,
perfect.
okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, thanks for bringing that up. So
Yeah,
try to, so let's do one check bag, one carry-on, and then we can all do laundry on the ship
perfect.
before we leave.
Yeah,
And you can do it, and they can also, you can probably pay and they can do it for you too.
yeah,
So you
that's absolutely important.
don't have to
With
do.
those two things, I'm totally fine. That's
Yeah,
perfect. Thank
and the
you.
clothing
Yeah.
will be pretty much the same, so
Hmm.
the layers with something warm. So in the early morning when we're in Peru, because we're gonna do Machu Picchu very early, like
Hmm.
our reservations are like at 6 a.m. So we get in early.
Cool.
So it could be a little bit chilly at that time, but then have your day pack so you can take off whatever when you start to get hot and you put it in your day pack and we keep
Perfect.
trucking. Yeah,
Awesome. Thank
thanks.
you.
Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah. Okay, guys, so I can't wait to see everybody. It's going to be a lot of fun. And
Tammy, I do have one more quick question.
sure.
This is Wanda. You had, and you mentioned it earlier, but you have asked for a copy of our passport to be sent to you via WhatsApp. Is there a more secure way to do that? I'm really uncomfortable sending that through WhatsApp. I don't know if you have a more secure way on your website to send that information to you.
You know what we could do? Just when we get together, just can I take just a picture of your front page of your passport?
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
So if anybody, you guys see that I'm trying to catch early to get the information and but even if we agree to do that, Wanda, can you just text me on WhatsApp? Because I'm going to create the group. So if everybody, whoever hasn't sent me their passport yet, or if you're not comfortable with it, I'll do it when I get there, but just send me a message on WhatsApp tonight or tomorrow, the next day. Then I'm going to take all your phone numbers and I'm going to create a group and then I'll make an announcement and everybody then is in the group and then you can start chatting with each other and you can ask questions and we're all connected. So if you don't do that, I'm going to build it in for you. But I know if you're not on WhatsApp, then I have to invite you and it's a little bit more complicated. So it's better for you if you just send me a WhatsApp message. I will grab your number, create a contact, and then I'm going to build you into the group.
Okay, I just sent you a message.
Okay, I heard the ding. Thank
That was me.
Yeah. And I just want the passport once I get there in case there's, anything comes awry or whatever, you fall in love with some Peruvian person and I lose you. I'll tell you that story when we're on the cruise. I've been doing this a long time.
Tammy, you were saying that they have a laundry on the ship.
Yeah.
I'm a back-to-back person, so I'm like thinking I'm gonna need to wash clothes in between. So is that like a self or is that just with the cruise line?
They have a self one, which is
Okay.
so unique, right? But yeah, they have a self and I don't know 100%, but I'm guessing because it seems normal for this level of a cruise that if you want to send your laundry out, they'll do it for you. But they have a self laundry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Great. Anything else? Okay, guys, I'm glad you sound prepared. I'm going to send out the recording tomorrow with a couple of answers to the questions that came today. And then anything that you need, you have my number. You're connected. Text me. I'll answer you right away. All right, guys. Well, thank you.
Thanks, Tammy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to have a
Thank
great
you.
time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. And Barbara, I'm super proud of you.
Why?
Yeah, just proud of you. Good girl.
Wait
Good.
till you see my pictures. You will like it.
That's awesome. All
Okay,
right,
honey. Thanks.
everybody.
Love you.